Today, everybody who has an innovative idea which relates to the need of the market wants to execute it and become an entrepreneur. Becoming an entrepreneur is a dream come true for many business minded people. To realize your dreams, you would have to start a business. So, here we are today to tell you how and what the procedures are to start your own business in India. Now, to start your own business, you need to get your company registered. But before we learn about the procedure for registration, let us understand what kind of company structure do you wish to register. So here it is, procedure to start a business in India. Under the Companies Act, there are three kind of businesses from the listed 5 businesses which are given, that is private limited company, limited liability partnership and OPC. Now, general partnership is governed under the Partnership Act, and sole proprietorship, if you are registering, would be under the Shops and Establishment Act. Now, how to understand which kind of a company do you think would be the most beneficial for you? Now, sole proprietorship is for a small kind of a business where there is only one person who is running the show and is, for example, all the shops in your market, they come under sole proprietorship. For that, you can only get a license under the Shops and Establishment Act and get yourself registered with the local authority. Apply for a PAN card in the name of the name of your shop or your proprietorship firm, and open a current bank account. That is the minimum requirement for a sole proprietorship. Now, for a general partnership under the Partnership Act, if you want to have a kind of authenticity, then it is required to be registered, because without the registration you can't even approach the authorities if there is any kind of a legal problem between the two partners. Now, the third company is the private limited company. Now, this is the most preferred form of company which everyone today is doing it. For this, there are maximum shareholders which are 200. There has to be a director, and the minimum requirement is there has to be 2 directors. Minimum 2 directors and 2 members. So, and because the word limited is mentioned here, the company which becomes a legal entity separate from the person, from the director, becomes the person who has to take care of the company, and the liability is not on that person. The company, private limited company, becomes the legal person who has the liability. Now, why this company formation is important is because there are 200 shareholders and there is minimum share capital. Plus, if you are getting into any kind of investment or anything, then when you are registered as a private limited company, getting an investment becomes easier for you. A private limited company is basically a voluntary association, and as I said, there has to be minimum 2 members and cannot be more than 200. The best part is the liability is limited, and the transfer of shares is limited to its members, who are not allowed to invite the general public to subscribe to its shares or debentures. Also, now the features of a private limited company are that the shares allotted though are not freely transferable, but it has a perpetuity. That is, it enjoys the continuity of existence. If anybody who is a director in this company dies, the legal heirs will become the directors in his place. Now, there is an AOA which is required, there's an MOA which is required. We will come on this requirement of MOA and AOA on the next slide. Now, the fourth kind of a company is the limited liability partnership. What is LLP? LLP was incorporated later on by an amendment, and it's a new corporate structure that combines the flexibility of having a general partnership with the flexibility of having a private limited company. Now, in other words, an alternative corporate business which has the benefits of a limited liability of a company, but allows the directors of the internal management to work like a general partnership. The features are there has to be 2 partners. Minimum is the requirement of 2 partners. There is no requirement of minimum capital contribution. Even with 100 rupees you can start. The mutual rights and duties of the LLP and its partners shall be governed by the LLP agreement which is drafted and signed between the parties, and that agreement is submitted when you're registering it as an LLP with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Now let us talk about why LLP is more preferable than private limited company. In the LLP, there are the requirement of only minimum 2 partners, and there is no restriction of having any number of partners. It can exceed even 200 numbers also. There is no requirement of a minimum contribution in an LLP. Like I said, for the private limited company, there has to be a minimum capital requirement, but in an LLP, there is no minimum capital requirement, and the contribution of the partner can be in any form, be it tangible, movable, or movable in immovable properties. Now, the cost in making an LLP is lesser than in forming a private limited company. For example, for a private limited company, the cost which could be incurred would be around 6,000 to 7,000 rupees. But for an LLP, the registration of the incorporation itself is only 1,500, and the maximum fees which can go is not beyond 5,000 or say 7,000 rupees. There are very less compliances in case of a LLP company, and there is no compulsory requirement of an audit, whereas for a private limited company, audit is compulsory. And there are many benefits in tax also for LLP, because for income tax purposes, LLP is treated at par with the partnership firms. So they are liable to pay income tax, and the share of its partners in LLP is not liable to tax. Thus, there is no dividend distribution also, and provision of deemed dividend under the income tax is also not applicable to an LLP. The last and not the least is the one-person company, that is OPC. Now, in an OPC, the minimum requirement is there has to be one shareholder and one director. A shareholder and the director can be same. And there has to be one nominee, and there are very little compliances which has to be done by the OPC, and an OPC can also get a small scale industry certificate also. It also, because it's a private company, OPC can raise funds through venture capital, and it becomes since it is registered as a company, it also has a separate legal entity. And there is only one single owner, so he is the only person who is the decision maker in the company. And if you are registering as an OPC, then you also get a lot of benefits under the income tax. So these are the 5 kind of companies which an entrepreneur must consider registering themselves into if they are starting a new business. So whenever you have selected what kind of a company, you have decided at what kind of a company that you want to register, the next step is how to register your company, the registration steps. We have listed for your benefit the 6 steps which are required in registration. At the first step is the digital signature certificate. For any company to start, there has to be a digital signature certificate applied by the person. Before this, there has to be a name approval application which is made simultaneously, and you have to apply for a director identification number, which we call in a common language as DIN. Once you decide upon the name, you have to fill this name approval application and get it approved, and meanwhile you have to apply for a digital certificate signature and a director identification number. Once you have all 3 in place, then you can apply for a PAN or a TAN as required, and thereafter you have to apply on the MCA website. After giving all the fees, there has to be an EMOA and EAOA. MOA is Memorandum of Association, and AOA is Article of Association. Now these are under the forms INC 33 and INC 34. The company name, the DIN, etc. These are the forms under INC 29 or a SPICE E form, which is 32. This is the main form under which mostly the company name, the DIN number, the incorporation, everything would be covered under this. So these are the 2 forms which are very important. That is INC 29, depending on the kind of company that you want to form, On the basis of that, this company is formed, and it usually takes 7 to 10 days for the company to get registered and start functioning. So these are the very simple steps, and you can go on the website of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which is mca.gov.in, and it has under the FAQs a lot of information which you can scroll through and start with your registration steps. So all the best.